The world is rapidly changing, and for Filipino overseas workers, OFWs, 2025 is shaping up to be an exceptionally challenging year. Stricter immigration laws, labor reforms, and nationalization policies in several major countries are reducing their reliance on foreign workers, including Filipinos. Consequently, over 300,000 Filipinos could be forced to return home, facing the loss of their livelihoods and uncertain futures. Some countries are cutting down on migrant workers due to economic struggles, while others are prioritizing their own citizens in the workforce. This video will reveal the 10 major nations that will no longer welcome Filipino workers in 2025, with the country at number 1 being particularly shocking. Before we begin, please like and subscribe to our channel. Number 10. Malaysia. Malaysia has long been a preferred destination for Filipino workers, particularly in retail, service, and domestic sectors. However, in 2025, the government's strict enforcement of its Malaysian First employment policy has made it increasingly difficult for foreign workers to obtain or renew work permits. This shift has already displaced thousands of OFWs, especially in the retail sector, with many losing their jobs and being given only 30 days to leave the country. Low-wage Filipino workers are among the most affected, facing sudden financial instability that impacts their families back home. While some are attempting to transition into other industries, Malaysia's crackdown on foreign labor has significantly reduced opportunities. The policy change is forcing many Filipinos to either return home or seek work in other countries, highlighting the growing challenges of job security for migrant workers in Malaysia as the government prioritizes its local workforce. Number 9. Hong Kong. Hong Kong has long been a second home for Filipino domestic workers, but by 2025, new government regulations are making it increasingly difficult for OFWs to live and work in the city. The government has significantly reduced the domestic helper quota, limiting job opportunities for Filipinos. In addition, stricter income requirements for employers mean fewer families can afford to hire domestic helpers, further restricting employment options. Housing restrictions have compounded the issue, as many Filipinos who previously lived with their employers now struggle to find affordable housing. The combination of these challenges has made it harder for Filipino workers to maintain their livelihoods in Hong Kong. As a result, many are considering leaving the city permanently in search of better opportunities. The changes reflect a broader shift in Hong Kong's policies, which may push Filipino workers to seek alternative destinations where their skills are more in demand and living conditions are more favorable. Number 8. South Korea. South Korea has long been a top destination for Filipino workers under the Employment Permit System, EPS, particularly in factories and agriculture. However, in 2025, the South Korean government is gradually phasing out E-9 visas, which are primarily issued to low-skilled foreign workers. With automation expanding in manufacturing and a stronger push to employ local workers, thousands of Filipinos are facing forced departures. Adding to the challenge, stricter Korean language requirements are now in place, making it even harder for OFWs to qualify for new contracts. Those who fail the new language exams will be unable to renew their visas, leaving them with no option but to return home. For many Filipinos who have spent years working in South Korea, this sudden shift means financial instability and uncertainty. While some are seeking alternative visas, the government's tightening restrictions are making it increasingly difficult for them to stay. Number 7. Japan. Japan has long been a prime destination for Filipino workers, especially in caregiving, construction, and manufacturing. However, by 2025, major policy changes are making it difficult for OFWs to stay employed. The termination of Japan's caregiver training program has left many Filipinos without work opportunities in the healthcare sector, forcing them to return home. Additionally, new tax policies have increased the financial burden on foreign workers, while stricter visa renewal requirements in industries like hospitality are limiting job prospects. The high cost of living further complicates matters, as many OFWs struggle to afford basic expenses without stable employment. Despite attempts to transition to other sectors or secure long-term visas, Japan's tightening immigration rules are making it increasingly challenging for Filipinos to remain. Consequently, thousands are being forced to leave Japan in 2025, returning to the Philippines with uncertain financial futures and limited options for international work. Number 6. Kuwait. Kuwait has long been a key destination for Filipino domestic workers, nurses, and service workers, but in 2025, major policy changes are making it increasingly difficult for OFWs to stay. The government is implementing a mass deportation drive targeting foreign workers over the age of 40, particularly those in domestic work. This policy is forcing thousands of long-term Filipino workers to leave, even if they have been legally employed for years. Adding to the crisis, Kuwait has introduced strict penalties for overstaying workers, making it nearly impossible for those with expired contracts to find alternative employment. Filipinos who failed to secure new jobs within the required timeframe are being deported immediately. Many OFWs who have dedicated years of service in Kuwait now face financial uncertainty as they return home without stable employment prospects. With limited options and stricter immigration rules, thousands of Filipinos are being forced to leave Kuwait, ending their long-standing careers in the country. Number 5. Taiwan. Taiwan has long been a hub for Filipino workers in electronics manufacturing and domestic work. However, in 2025, major policy shifts are making it harder for OFWs to stay. The government is cutting the number of foreign factory workers by 60% while increasing automation and prioritizing local hires. A stricter skills verification system now requires workers to pass complex exams before securing or renewing contracts. Those who fail are forced to leave immediately, leading to mass repatriations. This sudden policy shift is devastating for many Filipinos who have loans, families to support, and limited job prospects back home. With fewer opportunities and growing uncertainty, many OFWs are left scrambling for alternatives. Some are trying to transfer to other industries, but Taiwan's labor market is becoming increasingly restrictive as automation replaces jobs and local hiring takes priority. Filipinos are facing one of the toughest employment challenges in Taiwan's history. Number 4. Bahrain. Bahrain has long been a key destination for Filipino workers, especially in sectors like construction, hospitality, and domestic work. However, by 2025, the country is phasing out foreign workers, leaving thousands of Filipinos facing uncertain futures. New property ownership restrictions and family visa cancellations have made it nearly impossible for OFWs to bring their families to Bahrain, further destabilizing their situation. Many Filipino workers who once relied on Bahrain for both employment and family reunification now find themselves with limited options. As these changes threaten their livelihoods, a growing number of Filipinos are choosing to return to the Philippines rather than risk staying in a country where their future is increasingly uncertain. With the loss of stability and opportunities, many are exploring alternative destinations or looking to rebuild their lives back home, signaling a significant shift in Bahrain's workforce dynamic. Number 3. Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia's Saudization policy, one of the most aggressive nationalization efforts globally, has led to significant challenges for foreign workers, especially Filipinos. By 2025, 12 key industries have completely restricted foreign workers, resulting in thousands of Filipinos losing their jobs. New restrictions on domestic worker contracts have further complicated matters, leaving many struggling to renew their employment. With high taxes on remittances and increased limitations on religious and community gatherings, Saudi Arabia is becoming a less welcoming destination for OFWs. The changes have created an environment of uncertainty and frustration, pushing many Filipinos to reconsider their future in the kingdom. With fewer opportunities and increasing difficulties, many are choosing to explore other countries or return to the Philippines, as Saudi Arabia's once thriving OFW community faces a shrinking future. Number 2. United Arab Emirates, UAE. The UAE has been a top destination for Filipino workers in sectors like hospitality, retail, and government jobs. However, by 2025, new Emirati laws have led to the elimination of 85,000 Filipino-held positions. Retail and administrative jobs, which once employed thousands of Filipinos, are now reserved exclusively for Emiratis. This shift has made it increasingly difficult for Filipinos to maintain their livelihoods in the UAE. On top of that, new visa restrictions have made it harder for OFWs to bring their families to the country, adding to the uncertainty. Many Filipinos are now faced with a tough decision to return to the Philippines instead of staying in a country where job opportunities are shrinking and family reunification is becoming more challenging. These changes have created an atmosphere of instability for the Filipino workforce, leading many to seek better opportunities elsewhere or back home, signaling a significant shift in the UAE's labor market. Number 1. Qatar. Qatar was once a leading employer of Filipino workers in construction, retail, and hospitality sectors, but by 2025, the situation has dramatically changed. With fewer projects and job opportunities following the 2022 FIFA World Cup, thousands of OFWs are being laid off. In addition, Qatar has introduced hiring bans on Filipino workers, meaning that once OFWs leave, they cannot return. This has had a devastating impact on the Filipino community, leading many to seek opportunities elsewhere. As a result, Qatar has become the top country forcing Filipinos to return home in 2025. The combination of limited employment options and the inability to return has left many Filipinos uncertain about their future, pushing them to reconsider their careers and family plans. The once thriving Filipino workforce in Qatar is now facing an uncertain and rapidly changing environment. What's next for returning OFWs? With over 300,000 Filipinos expected to return home, the big question is what happens next. Will there be enough jobs in the Philippines to support these returning workers, or will they be forced to seek opportunities in other countries?